In today's show, up only for the Bitcoin fundamentals, I'll be sharing with you the 5 things to watch out for in the Bitcoin market this week. And as Samson Mao points out, new hash rate all-time high. Imagine thinking you could shame Bitcoin miners into using less energy. And as Rec Capital shares here, Bitcoin is struggling to reclaim its support, the bull market EMAs that constitute the midpoint of the macro reaccumulation range. As long as these EMAs remain as resistance, Bitcoin will occupy the lower half of this macro range. And as Plan C shares here, since we broke below $50,000, accumulation addresses have increased their balances by about 194,000 BTC. Accumulation address balance is at a 57-month high. Also in today's show, Super Bowl 2022, here's the scoreboard of the crypto ads. And as Joe Pompliano points out, Coinbase just spent $14 million for a color-changing QR code to bounce around on the screen for 30 seconds during the Super Bowl, and the website crashed. And guess what? Bitcoin hodler Odell Beckham Jr. made the first touchdown of the Super Bowl, and also Drake won $1.5 million in Bitcoin after the Rams won the Super Bowl, and Odell Beckham Jr. scored that touchdown. Now, hands down, FTX had the very best Super Bowl ad with Larry David. Also in today's show, Mark Cuban reveals 2 of his largest altcoin investments and says first viral crypto app is coming. That's right, in a new interview, he goes on to share, Bitcoin's a great store of value, but Ethereum and Polygon, that I both own a lot of, you can start to see the utility. You're starting to see more and more applications pop up there, and we'll see what happens with ETH 2.0 in terms of gas fees, and I think Polygon has done a great job, and you've got other blockchains trying to do the same thing. Also in today's show, legendary billionaire investor Bill Miller has very big Bitcoin position and calls Bitcoin insurance against financial catastrophe. Quoting him right here, Bitcoin is insurance against financial catastrophe, as we've seen in Lebanon or in Afghanistan or many of these other countries where we saw around the time of the pandemic. And also quoting him here, I think the average investor should ask himself or herself, what do you have in your portfolio that has that kind of track record? Number 1 is very, very underpenetrated, can provide a service of insurance against financial catastrophe, and that no one else can provide and can go up 10 times or 50 times. The answer is nothing. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. As you can see, Bitcoin, Ether, and all the major alts are currently correcting and in the red. But where's the Bitcoin price? Likely to go next. Find out all this, plus so much more, in today's show. Here at Crypto News Alerts, I drop a brand new episode every single day. The goal is to get to 100,000 subs along with a $100,000 Bitcoin price. If you like getting that crypto, be sure to smash that subscribe button and ring that bell to turn on all notifications to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every single day, just like this. And today's episode is brought to you by BlockFi, the #1 leading provider of financial products and services for crypto investors. And they have a special promo they're running right now where you can get up to $250 in Bitcoin for funding your account today. And their flagship products include their BlockFi interest account, where you can earn up to 8.25% APY with no minimum balance and no hidden fees. The other flagship product includes their BlockFi Bitcoin Rewards Visa credit card, where you can get 3.5% Bitcoin back on all your purchases within your first 90 days, and then get an unlimited 1.5% Bitcoin back on everything you purchased thereafter. And they also offer crypto-backed loans. That's right, borrow funds against your crypto with rates as low as 4.5% APR, and there are no prepayment penalties. There's no impact to your credit, and you can receive the funds the same business day, truly making this a no-brainer. So go ahead and click the link in the description right down below and get up to $250 in Bitcoin for funding your account today. And let's start stacking those sats, shall we? All right, welcome back to another episode of Crypto News Alerts. I'm your host, JV. How's it going, crypto fam? Holla at your boy. Now, Bitcoin starts the week with a slow drag downhill towards that pivotal support at 40K. After the bulls had something to celebrate last week, the current environment looks like a fresh dose of reality as Bitcoin battles nervous stock markets, a resurgent US dollar, and more. Now for the 5 things to watch out for in the Bitcoin market this week. Bitcoin tests new 50-day moving average support. After 10 days of recovery, Bitcoin is now reckoning with the resistance levels absent from bulls radar since the middle of January. Having passed 45,500 late last week, the weekend saw relatively calm conditions as the daily chart nonetheless saw a series of lower lows. Now, the weekly close is a topic of interest on Sunday as the price action stayed particularly in an identical place to the end of last week. Ultimately disappointed, Bitcoin set a lower close of just under $42,000. And checking out the latest from Rec Capital, Bitcoin is struggling to reclaim as support the bull market EMAs that constitute the midpoint of the macro reaccumulation range. As long as these EMAs remain as resistance, Bitcoin will occupy the lower half of this macro range. Now for the second factor to keep your eyes out on this week in the Bitcoin market, the US dollar currency index sours risk asset mood. That's right, Bitcoin's reversal towards 40,000 may have not helped by an advancing US dollar. Since February 4th, the US dollar currency index has been on the rebound, canceling a steep downtrend which had characterized the week prior. Now that traditionally spells problems for risk assets, and as of Monday, the US dollar currency index was trading back above the 96 mark. And Lynn Alden makes a great point. Over the past century, there are only 4 years where both stocks and bonds had a negative year. Obviously, it is super early, but so far both stocks and bonds have had negative returns in 2022. Now for the third factor to keep your eyes out on this week in the Bitcoin market, spot price starts leading futures amid the rise to and the come down from local highs. Interesting activity had been taking place on Bitcoin derivative markets. As pointed out here on Crypto Twitter, Bitcoin futures leverage has been falling significantly this week, falling from 2% of market cap to 1.75%. However, this was not the liquidation cascade we all know and love. This is far from traders choosing to close out their positions. Far healthier, I expect spot to lead now, and as Bitazine General shares, interesting, pretty significant basis to spot divergence here. Quarterly futures basis keeps making new lows, flirting with backwardation. And now for the fourth factor to keep your eyes out on this week in the Bitcoin market, hash rate follows difficulty to all-time highs. That's right, it's been a straight winning year for Bitcoin's network fundamentals thus far, and this week is no exception. Over the weekend, hash rate charts, an estimate of the processing power dedicated to mining, surged to new all-time highs. As Samson Mao points out here, new hash rate all-time high. Imagine thinking you could chain Bitcoin miners into using less energy. Now for the fifth and final factor to keep your eyes out on this week in the Bitcoin market, keep on hodling. That's right, where my long-term Bitcoin hodlers at, as noted by popular Twitter account known as Plan C, wallets thought to belong to long-term hodlers are increasing dramatically, and recent price action has only helped the trend. As he shares here, since we broke below 50,000, accumulation addresses have increased their balance by 193,957 Bitcoin, defined as addresses that have at least 2 incoming non-dust transfers and have never spent funds. Accumulation address balance hits 57-month high. The numbers don't lie, which you can see right here in this chart. And before I break down next story of the day and we discuss Super Bowl 2022, or should I say Crypto Bowl 2022, first let's take a quick look at the overall crypto market. As you can see, there's blood on these crypto streets, with Bitcoin down almost 1% for the day, maintaining just above $42,100. We have Ether down 2%, now trading under $2,900. Solana down 3%, trading at 93 bucks. XRP down 6%, trading just under 79 cents. And Polkadot down 4%, trading at $18.27. But all right, now let's break down our next story of the day. Super Bowl commercials have always been an intrinsic part of the annual football league, better known as the NFL Championship, and for business, a fair sign of making it in the real world. This year, however, marked a new milestone for the crypto community as FTX, eToro, Crypto.com, and Coinbase debuted crypto ads in Super Bowl 2022. How many of you watch? Let me know in the comments below. Now, with rising demand in crypto, recently fueled by NFTs, meme tokens, and the metaverse, Super Bowl crypto ads stole the limelight from traditional businesses on social media platforms like Twitter. Let's start with Coinbase. Coinbase is one of the most popular crypto exchanges in the US, often taking the #1 spot for being the most downloaded app on the Apple App Store. Now, what appears to be a part of the company's ongoing Less Talk, More Bitcoin campaign, Coinbase released a minimalistic commercial sporting basic 2-dimensional graphic images. You can't make this stuff up. The Coinbase Super Bowl commercial started off with a Coinbase themed C bouncing around the screen, similar to the Bouncin' DVD logo. You can check it out right here. Check it out. Yeah, that's the extent of the commercial, a bouncing C for 30 seconds, but it gets better. Shortly after, the letter was replaced with a color-changing QR code, which silently moved across the screen in a similar fashion. The QR code redirected users to Coinbase landing page that promoted the Bitcoin giveaway and sign-up promotions. When scanned, I believe they were giving away $15 in free Bitcoin for creating a new account, and that's the extent of the commercial. So despite the contrast to traditional high-production Super Bowl advertisements, Coinbase services crashed temporarily owing to the sudden influx of heavy traffic on the website, and acknowledging the service disruption, a follow-up message on the Coinbase app said the following: "Well, that was more popular than we thought. We need a quick timeout, but don't worry, we'll email you when things are back to normal, and as Joe Pompliano shares, Coinbase just spent $14 million for a color-changing QR code to bounce around the screen for 30 seconds during the Super Bowl, and the website crashed. Now for my favorite Super Bowl commercial, hands down FTX, crypto exchange founded by Sam Bankman-Fried, spared no expense on its first Super Bowl advertisement entitled Don't Miss Out, featuring comedian Larry David from Curb Your Enthusiasm, and this is the actual ad. If you haven't watched it, I'll include it in the show notes below the video in the description. It's hilarious, so be sure to check it out. Now the advertisement shows David missing life-changing technologies right when they were being invented, like the invention of the wheel. Portraying as an authority figure in various historic timelines, David is seeing rejected the invention of the wheel, electricity, and the toilet. Then the comedian further opposes the U.S. Declaration of Independence. He shows skepticism about landing on the moon and portable music. And finally, when David dismisses the FTX app with an "I don't think so," the commercial addresses the viewers, "Don't be like Larry, don't miss out on the next big thing." So overall, FTX's advertisement was considered by many the funniest Super Bowl commercial. Definitely has my vote. Next up, eToro's commercial. Crypto and fiat investment platform eToro Super Bowl ad, "Flying Your Way," began with a user asking for advice from the eToro community on whether to invest in crypto or stocks. And here's their actual ad. If you want to check it out, I'll include it in the show notes below the video in the description. Now let's move on to the next one, which is Crypto.com. In its first Super Bowl ad, Crypto.com featured basketball legend LeBron James having a conversation with his younger version from 2003. While the young LeBron James was excited to know about a future full of electric cars and other technological advancements, he asked from the real LeBron James if he was ready for what was about to come, quoting him here, "I can't tell you everything, but if you want to make history, you got to call your own shots." Now the commercial made even more sense to the public, considering that LeBron became the highest scoring NBA player in history just one day before the commercial aired. And if you want to check out the commercial, check the show notes below the video in the description, and let me know which Super Bowl crypto commercial was your favorite. Holla at your boy. Now before I break down the next story of the day, Mark Cuban reveals two of his largest altcoin investments and says the first viral crypto app is coming. But first, let's take a quick look at the overall crypto market cap, sitting just under $1.8 trillion with $66 billion in volume. In the past 24 hours, the current Bitcoin dominance is 41.3%, with the Ether dominance at 18.7%. And checking out the top crypto gainers within the top 100 for the week, as you can see, only Elron and Leo are up. Everything else is pretty much bleeding and in the red. And checking out one of my favorite indicators is the Crypto Greed and Fear Index. Shows we're currently rated a 46 out of 100 in fear. Yesterday a 44, last week a 45, and last month a 23 in extreme fear. And if you're not familiar with the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, extreme fear can be a sign investors are too worried. That could be a great buying opportunity like we're witnessing right now. BTFD, buy that freaking dip. And when investors are getting too greedy, that means the market is due for a correction. But all right, now let's break down our next story of the day. Bitcoin entrepreneur and Shark Tank superstar Mark Cuban says he's heavily invested into two popular alts while waiting for the first viral crypto app to emerge. In a new interview with Crypto Banter, Cuban says he owns a lot of Ethereum and Polygon, aka Matic, due to their strong use cases. Quoting the Billionaire here, "Bitcoin's a great store of value, but Ethereum and Polygon, that I both own a lot of, you can start to see the utility. You're starting to see more and more applications pop up there, and we'll see what happens with ETH 2.0 in terms of gas fees. And I think Polygon has done a great job, and you've got other blockchains trying to do the same thing. Now, Ethereum is the leading smart contract platform in the world, while Polygon/Matic is the layer 2 scaling solution designed to enable the wide-scale adoption of decentralized apps on the Ethereum blockchain. How many of you are currently bullish on Ethereum or Polygon? Let me know in the comments below. I'm most definitely bullish on both. Now, the Billionaire also says he's on the lookout for the first ever crypto-based application. There'll be a big hit for mainstream consumers. As he shares here, all the blockchains are kind of in a death war trying to get users and applications, and I think whoever comes up with applications where just somebody walking down the street in Miami can say, "Oh yeah, I use that," just like Instagram. At the beginning, what the heck is Instagram? And then everybody got it. It went viral. We haven't gotten the first viral mainstream crypto-based application yet. We will. That's what I'm looking for in terms of investments. And to watch this entire video with Mark Cuban with his predictions, be sure to check the show notes below the video in the description. And before I break down our final story of the day, legendary billionaire investor Bill Miller has very big Bitcoin position and calls Bitcoin insurance against financial catastrophe and predicts Bitcoin can go up 10 or even 50x. And before I break this down, first I want to remind you to smash that show more button right below this video in the description for a detailed analysis of what's going on in the crypto market. This goes for all 1,000 plus videos right here on my YouTube channel. Also some very helpful resources for you to plug into, including my crypto merch store, now live at merch.cryptonewsalerts.net. Also have a daily letter that goes out to over 30,000 subscribers every single day. To subscribe, visit letter.cryptonewsalerts.net. Also have a blog I update daily, which can be found at cryptonewsyes.com. Also be sure to smash that subscribe button and ring that bell to turn on all notifications and help support the channel. You can also find me on all the major podcasting platforms from Spotify to Apple's iTunes. And if you're listening to the pod, be sure to check out the YouTube channel at cryptonewsalerts.net for the full premium experience with video. And of course, you can follow me on crypto Twitter, Facebook, Telegram, and TikTok. So wherever you're at, be sure to follow me there. But all right, now let's break down our final story of the day. Famed value investor Bill Miller talked about Bitcoin in a new interview with CNBC on Wednesday. He is the founder of Miller Value Partners and currently serves as its chairman and chief investment officer. He manages the firm's opportunity equity and income strategy funds. Now, prior to Miller's Value Partners, he co-founded Legg Mason Capital Management. Now, referring to Bitcoin, Miller described it's like an insurance policy. He elaborated, insurance policies have no intrinsic value. In fact, you want them to have no intrinsic value. You don't want to have your home burned down or get in a terrible accident, but you pay for insurance every year in case that happens. And he continues, Bitcoin is insurance against financial catastrophe, as we've seen in Lebanon or in Afghanistan or many of those other countries where we saw around the time of the pandemic. Now, Miller also clarified what he said in January about Bitcoin being half of his net worth, noting that many media reports misinterpreted what he had said. Miller explained that he only put a few percent of his net worth into Bitcoin, not 50%, but then it grew and became half of his total fortune as the price of the crypto soared. However, he added that now Bitcoin accounts for less than half of his total net worth because the price has fallen since its high in November of 69,000. Quoting him here, I put a few percent of my net worth in it a long time ago and it grew to be half my net worth. Now it's less than that because it's down half since November, but it's still a very big position, he said. And commenting on KPMG Canada buying Bitcoin and Ether for its corporate treasury, Miller said he sees the move as bullish for the crypto sector. The Billionaire fund manager opined the following, I think you're going to see a lot of adoption among foundations and endowments and institutions this year, and that's going to continue. And the veteran investor has been long pro-Bitcoin. In September of last year, his hedge fund company told the U.S. SEC in a filing that Bitcoin has a significant upside potential as digital gold. And when the price of Bitcoin fell in May of last year, he was unfazed by the falling price, emphasizing the Bitcoin price corrections are pretty common. So shout out to Bill Miller. Also want to quote him here. I think the average investor should ask himself or herself, what do you have in your portfolio that has that kind of track record? Number one is very, very underpenetrated, can provide a service of insurance against financial catastrophe that no one else can provide and can go up 10 times or 50 times. The answer is nothing. Now let's run some math. At the time of this prediction, Bitcoin was trading at roughly $69,000. So to 50x from here, we're talking about $3.5 million per BTC. Now let's run some more math. At today's price of $42,000 per Bitcoin to 50x from here, we're talking about $2.1 million per BTC. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the legendary billionaire investor, Bill Miller. Now for a quick recap of what I covered with you here in today's show, I shared with you the 5 things to watch out for in the Bitcoin market this week, as well as Super Bowl, or should I say Crypto Bowl 2022. We discussed the top ads, as well as Mark Cuban revealing 2 of his largest altcoin investments, Ethereum and Polygon/Matic. Also in today's show, we discussed billionaire legendary investor Bill Miller has very big Bitcoin position and calls Bitcoin insurance against financial catastrophe and says it can go up 10 or even 50x. But where do you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to go next? Let me know in the comments right down below. Now for the top 3 comments from yesterday's episode, this anonymous user wrote, thanks JV, so much good news. I can hardly keep up with it all. Hope you had an excellent weekend, mate. See you next time. You're very welcome, fam. Greatly appreciate your support. BTC, let's freaking go. And our next featured comment comes from Jackie Peng, who wrote, pumping in a downtrend is absolutely weird. Jackie, yes indeed, Bitcoin is just doing what Bitcoin does best, keeping everyone on their toes. Now for our third and final featured comment comes from Emmett, who wrote, thoughts on government CBDC and the ability to null and void all cryptos. This thought, scary. And that's an excellent question. My personal thoughts and perspective, CBDCs are virtually digital dollars, which are not true cryptocurrencies. I think all the legitimate crypto hodlers, such as you watching this right now, are not going to buy into CBDCs. We're going to continue to use the king of all crypto. It's decentralized and there is no comparison whatsoever. And no, it does not make cryptos such as Bitcoin void CBDCs. If anything, it makes Bitcoin that much stronger because the people will see the truth. And to be featured on tomorrow's episode, drop me a comment right down below.